Hello all, welcome to my channel. Without wasting any time, let's jump into story.
Today, I want to share this short, but honestly incredibly powerful story with you. It's all about perseverance, faith, and what it really takes to turn a tiny little idea into a massive success. This is the parable of the artisan's harvest.
So, let's start with a question. It's a question we've probably all asked ourselves at some point, right? Whether we're launching a business, or starting a new project, or even just trying to build a new habit. What's that secret ingredient? Well, this story has a pretty compelling answer, so let's keep this question in the back of our minds as we dive in. All right, so our story kicks off in a pretty familiar place. You've got this passionate creator, a brand new shop, and just a ton of hope. But as you can probably guess, that hope is about to get seriously tested. I mean, you can just picture it, can't you? The smell of fresh paint, those shelves arranged just so, with every single item crafted with so much care and dedication. She put literally everything she had into this dream. This wasn't just some business for her, it was her passion, right there for the world to see.
Now, what's so clever about this parable is its central metaphor. The marketplace she's in is described as dry soil. And that just perfectly captures that initial difficult environment, It wasn't that her work wasn't any good. It was that the conditions were just tough. It made it incredibly hard for anything new to grow.
And here it is, the brutal, honest reality of that dry soil. 0. Can you imagine that? Pouring your heart and soul into something for weeks, opening your doors every single day full of hope, only to be met with complete silence. That number, 0, it isn't just a statistic, it's a crushing weight. And it's our first big insight here. Success is not always immediate.
And then, of course, the outside voices start chiming in. It's one thing to deal with your own self-doubt, but it's a whole other thing to hear it from the people around you. This is that voice of so-called practicality, the voice of fear, telling her to just give up on the whole thing. So here she is, faced with this empty shop and all this doubt piling up. What does she do? Does she listen to them? Does she quit? Nope. This is the pivot. This is where the story turns. She decides to take control, not of the market, which she can't control, but of her own actions. And this right here, this is absolutely key. Instead of getting paralyzed by the fact that she wasn't seeing any results, she just focused on the one thing she could control: her work, her craft, her commitment. She chose action over despair. And look at how beautifully simple this routine is. It's not some big, complicated business plan. It's just a commitment to small, consistent daily progress. Create something new, get a little bit better at it, and then do it all again the next day. It's this discipline that proves a really fundamental truth. Consistent, focused effort is an unbelievably powerful force.
So every new piece she created wasn't just another product on the shelf. It was an investment. It was her way of watering that dry soil, It was this total act of faith that eventually something had to grow. She was basically betting on her own consistency.
And as anyone who's ever tried to grow a plant knows, if you keep watering the soil day in and day out, eventually something happens. This part of the story is all about that moment, that first tiny little sign of life. I mean, this timeline really puts her patience into perspective. A whole month of nothing. 30 days of opening up to an empty street. And then, just one ordinary afternoon, after all that waiting, the little bell on the door finally jingles.
And it wasn't a huge, dramatic event. It wasn't some big shot investor walking in. It was just one person, a traveler, who really saw the beauty in what she was doing. And this is the important part. This person didn't just buy something. They shared it. Just a small, simple act in the digital world.
And that was it. That was the sprout. All those drops of water, all that daily, unseen effort, had finally nurtured the soil just enough for this one tiny seed of opportunity to break through. It's the perfect example of how a very small breakthrough can end up leading to exponential growth. So from that one tiny little sprout, something massive starts to happen. The story now shifts from a struggle for survival to this incredible picture of success, showing us what becomes of all that patient effort.
And this contrast just shows the transformation so clearly. I mean, look at this. You start with the seed, the empty shop, one lonely artisan with a dream. And then you see the tree. That same shop is now a bustling town landmark. The lone artisan is now an employer. A quiet little corner has become a vibrant hub for the whole community. The growth is just amazing.
But here's the best part. Her success didn't just benefit her. The tree that she grew became so big that it provided shade, And what a beautiful metaphor that is, for jobs, opportunity, and inspiration for her entire community. This really drives home our final lesson. Your success can eventually benefit everyone.
So after all that, the struggle, the perseverance, and the incredible result, what's the ultimate takeaway from this story?
What's the core lesson that was hiding in the soil of this parable all along?
It boils down to this, right here. It wasn't just her hard work. It was hard work that was powered by faith. Faith in her own skills, and the patience to stick with it through that long, quiet beginning. That's the combination that creates the magic.
So if we just walk back through this journey for a second, you can see all the lessons play out so clearly. It starts with that empty shop, reminding us that success is rarely ever immediate. Then you have the artisan at her workbench, day after day, showing us that consistent effort is an incredibly powerful force. Then comes that traveler's single online post, the tiny sprout, proving that one small breakthrough can spark massive growth. And finally, the thriving community hub, showing how your own success can create a harvest that benefits everybody.
And that brings us to the final thought, really. This parable isn't just about a craft shop, it's about any dream you might have that feels distant or even impossible right now. So the question for you is, what dry soil in your own life, whether it's a project, a skill, or maybe a relationship, are you committed to watering today, with faith and patience, one little drop at a time?